I'm Rose, welcome 23, joining me for Rake and Recluse, Chapter 24, Francine. Wake on a four-poster bed, rough-hewn rope tied around your wrists and ankles. It makes wiggling upright supremely difficult. When you finally manage it, you find an enormous man watching you from a chair in the corner of the room. Why are you in every evil plot? I should ask, where am I? I'm sorry, I seem to have lost my head. You give him a belligerent smile. Could you perhaps tell me where we are? He only stares. Maybe even how I came to be here. He stares harder. How the fuck do you stare harder? Okay. I'd just like to say I've really enjoyed this chat. His eyebrows scrunch slightly, opens his mouth to speak, but then a pointy, middle-aged woman barges into the room. It's Miss Hepplewort, isn't it? The man in the corner jumps to his feet and bowed obediently. The woman does not so much as acknowledge him, and merely fixes you with a withering stare. I'm trying to remember that one day we saw her picture, and I'm like, I'm gonna give this voice to her. Shit! I don't remember. Let's go with... Oh god, here we go. I guess we'll entertain this.
You are a filthy mess.
Her eyes travel your torn bonnets, ripped skirts, and numerous bruises you incurred during your abduction.
Have you no pride? You are betrothed to my son, Lord Fergus Dogbook, Earl of Hepplewort. Consider that in your actions.
Is she serious? I should... get sassy. Really, I didn't realize marriage to beasts was legal. Though, honestly, I'd rather marry a pig than a swine that slithered out of you. The woman's jaw flaps in silent fury.
How dare you?
She takes a step forward, her eyes glowing with malicious fire.
Your only purpose is to bear the future Earl of Hepplewort. It is a great honor and one you should work to be worthy of. If you cannot do that, you serve no purpose at all. Do you understand?
I understand that you're batshit. Oh, I understand completely. I do, Lady Hepplewort. I shall endeavor to make him myself worthy. It is, after all, such a great honor. Lips purse in satisfaction.
Morgan,
The looking man in the corner raises his head.
remove her restraints.
He pulls out a rusty dagger and lumbers over the bed.
Be warned, if you make one errant move, Morgan will stop you.
He cuts the ropes free. You glare at her, trying to massage, feeling back into your wrists.
See, the girl is cleaned. I will not have my son sullied by her filth.
And with that, she sweeps out of the room. For a terrifying moment, you think Morgan is going to bathe you. But a second later, a mousy servant girl enters and marches you towards the bath. It doesn't look like Morgan's planning on giving me my privacy, though. You shiver under his cold gaze as the maid strips you bare. Squeeze your eyes shut and think of Gideon. Find me, Gideon. Find me soon. After soaping you down and roughly drying you off, the girl towels you off and fits you with an extremely tight corset. You can barely breathe as the maid finishes tying the laces. Just another way to bind me. I'm not gonna lie though, I do like the pendant. With your cleansing complete, the maid scurries off, leaving you alone once again with Morgan. My hands are free, it's just me and him. This might be my only chance. I should stay put. There's no way I could outrun him, or outdo him. Morgan ushers you back to your prison. Take a seat on the edge of the bed and try to avoid Morgan's eye. But his staring is as intent as ever. You feel it coming before it happens. Morgan lumbers over, his meaty hand settling on your shoulders, reaching into your bodice. Oh, get off of me! Get off! You kick him in the crotch and revel in his bellow of pain. But the panic has gone straight to your head, and the tightness of the corset makes it impossible to breathe. Soon, blackness overtakes you. You wake to Lady Hepplewort slapping you into awareness.
You insolent swine! Have you no dignity? You cannot even handle a simple bodice without fainting into oblivion.
Is that what she thinks happened? You frantically scan the room, but Morgan is nowhere to be found. You open your mouth to argue with Lady Hepplewort when the door flies open and Fergus Hepplewort himself sweeps into the room. His gaze is marginally less terrifying now that I've met his mother, but I can't forget what he did to Lily. Mother, a word. His voice is clipped and prim and brooks of no argument. Lady Hepplewort curtsies meekly and scurries out into the hall with her son. You leap off the bed and race to the door, pressing your ear against the latch. Mother, I told you I'd take care of this. To take care of her. Not ruin her before I've had the chance to seal the contract. You bite down hard on your lip.
I'm sorry, darling. You know best about these things. I will follow your example, of course.
That's a change in tone. She clearly knows how to manipulate him. Most women do. Question mark. Hepplewort snorts his satisfaction. The priest will be here in the morning. We only need to keep her occupied until then. The morning. That doesn't give me much time to escape.
Leave it to me, my son.
It really? I mean, I don't think any court in the land would agree to, hey, he kidnapped me and forced a marriage on me. Ta-da! I don't care. Was that a thing in the 1800s? Forcible marriage?
Leave it to me, my son.
No, clearly, I cannot trust you to safeguard my future wife. I left you with one task and you failed. Even the most unscrupulous priest will not marry a man to an unconscious woman.
Darling!
I will handle her as I handle everything else. A shiver crawls slowly up your spine. You hear a fearful note creep in Lady Hepplewort's voice as she says,
Dear heart, do try to control yourself.
So she knows what he's like. And she's going to send him in here anyway. You're sitting neatly on the corner of the bed when Hepplewort re-enters the room. Lady Madeline, I must apologize for my mother's behavior. You clench your jaw to avoid dropping it. As old as she is, she still has not learned her place. That's more in keeping with the Hepplewort I know. I'll have to play him very carefully if I want to get out of here. I should agree about his mother. Your mother can be quite meddlesome, my lord. Be careful to let the words fall from your lips like an endearment. He grins at your phrasing. Quite true. A woman who has the honor of being by your side should know better. Perhaps I finally found such a one. Perhaps you have. His gaze slips southward, caressing the lines of your waist and breast. My mother believes you should be slender. That less food would make you more compliant. I, however, like you just as you are. And shall we have a luncheon together? A luncheon. The thought of eating with him makes me sick. But a chance to get out of this room to escape. Perhaps a picnic, my lord. I would love to see the grounds. They'll be much easier to run from. If they're nothing as magnificent as this house. Hepplewort's grin is a slash of red in a pale face. Splendid notion. You must see all that you are to have when you become my wife. A short while later, you meet Hepplewort outside the manor. A horse and phaeton have been prepared, along with what looks to be a very large picnic basket. He offers his hand to help you into the carriage, and you give it, feeling like you've willingly soaked yourself in slime. Shall we be off, then? You nod tightly, and Hepplewort snaps the reins, sending the phaeton into motion. I know just the meadow to take you to. You'll have a perfect view of the estate. The little you've seen so far tells you all you need to know. Hepplewort's manner is run down, and he's trying to hide it. He clearly needs these hairs to boost his legacy. My lord? Where's Morgan? I let him rest. He was quite exhausted from all yesterday's activities. Yes, kidnap and assault can be very tiring. But that means one less person to get away from. You force a queasy smile. Besides, I wanted you all to myself. He looks at you darkly, and you stiffen. But my lord, our wedding is so soon. Would it not be better to wait? Do not fret. I won't touch what I haven't paid for yet. I would not dare risk the contract. His voice is sharp and cold. Of course he's worried about the contract. But that does not mean I cannot look. Is it... So they've forgotten the contract to put kidnap and assault? Okay. Wow, this guy is a real winner, man. Whew. His eyes fix pointedly between your breasts. You choke back your disgust as he pulls the horse to a halt. Yeah, this guy's a real fucking winner. He helps you out of the phaeton and leaves you by the horse as he readies the picnic. If I manage to overpower him, I'll need speed to get away. I should disable the carriage, disconnect the horse. Best way to disable a carriage is typically the middle of the wheel. Back then, there was a wood spike that would keep the wheel on its axle. You could do that. I feel like disable the carriage. He doesn't strike me as much of a rider. And if he can't use the carriage, it'll be that much harder for him to catch me. You turn as unobtrusively as possible and find the latch between the horse's harness and the phaeton. A flick of the wrist later, and not even the horse has noticed the absence. Madeline, dear, what are you doing? Jump at the sound of his voice and then turn back to him. He spreads out the blanket, picnic basket beside him. I thought you might like to feed me. Oh, Christ help us. You smile queasily and swallow the bile that rises in your throat. There's nothing I would like better than to choke you on your own food. I like her. You sit beside him on the blanket and reach into the basket. Your hand alights on cheese, meat, a bottle of wine, and a knife. You wrap your hand around the hilt and smile at him sweetly. Do you have a preference? You won't do it? You won't stab him for free? You shift on your knees as if you have a better look in the basket. I think I'll have the... You don't let him finish the sentence. Latch onto the knife and swing out with your other foot. Your heel kicks straight into his nose. He falls back howling. You little... You've broken my nose! You sick, twisted monster. Do you really believe that I would enjoy your company? That any woman would? You are a sack of perverted, rotten, unkept swine. Mother was right about you. She certainly was. And with that, you are on your feet and running. You reach the horse and slice it free, but not before you notice a figure in the distance. Morgan is galloping towards you on the back of an enormous brown horse at full speed. Lady Hepplewort must have sent him after us. Damn it. I guess we know who the real brains behind the sick operation is. You hike up your skirt and swing bareback onto the horse, white-knuckling the reins with bruising force. One swish kick later, and you're flying across the meadow at breakneck speed. But you soon realize you're flying too fast. Your thighs are slipping against the horse's fur, your hold is dangerously unstable, and... Is that the sound of a horse approaching? You kick your horse again, not daring to look behind you, but it's too much speed. You feel yourself slipping, falling. straight into the approaching rider's arms. Gideon! Let it be Gideon. Fingers crossed? And then we ride back, and we kill the whole bunch of them together. We could call it a family outing. That being said, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And down description below, links to social media or Discord, and if you links to support me and my content. Without further ado, 3 more chapters to go. I must not read this. Okay, no, it doesn't say anything. Whew. Because they're not choices. They don't spoil it, you know? So far, in this book at least, they don't spoil it. I'm loving this, man. I'm really loving this. So yeah, I will catch you all in the next chapter. Peace out.